Hey class, it's an exciting week. This is the video instructions for the week. In this video, you're going to learn about your research proposal, which is due this Friday by 11:59 p.m. We're going to learn about organization patterns for your big research paper, the big space paper. And also I'm going to show you some resources on the class resources page of the class website that will help you with your research proposal. Finally, we're going to just go over a doodle poll that you'll be filling out that's due by 11:59 p.m. So that you can meet with me and we'll talk about your research proposal, and that's coming up the following week. But first, I don't know if you guys have experience with voice assistants, but I have an Alexa, and we're going to have Alexa show us a skill that we just got, and I think it's pretty cool. Alexa, beam us to the deck.
Please stay still or your atoms may rearrange. Your teleport begins in 3, 2, 1.
Pretty cool, huh? What? Ah! Alexa, beam us back inside! Oh, that feels better. Meadowlark, why don't you go play and show one more place we can go to. Alexa, beam me to McDaniel College. McDaniel campus, look how beautiful it is today. I just wanted to give you guys just a look at McDaniel's campus because I know you guys haven't been here in a while. And that's it. Take care and stay safe. All right. Alexa, beam me up. Alexa, beam me up. Alexa, beam me up.
I'll try not to leave any bodies.
The proposal. That's the big assignment that's going to help you figure out what you want to say for your big space research paper. Now, the proposal you're going to write is due this Friday by 11:59 p.m. You email me the document, and then the following week we're going to have conferences where we talk about the proposal and develop your idea even more. So you're going to feel comfortable writing that big research paper. From the tasks page, I'm going to click on the big space link. This is going to lead me to more information about the proposal. I encourage you to look at this more information to get more specific details about what's required in the proposal. So I'm going to scroll down and we'll get to the proposal here, and it's worth 5% of your overall grade. Now the proposal is about 400 to 900 words. It should be written clearly, free from grammar, spelling, and punctuation mistakes, and you're going to need to be concise with this proposal. So here are the parts. Now I'd like you to practice the CRAP principles here and have a title that's in bold, have a section, have it labeled research focus, have another section called previous research, argument style, research plan, and then have your works cited. The first part is the research focus. Now in this section you're going to describe the topic, the issue, or the problem, explain the main question you're asking about the topic or the issue, and explain why your topic or issue is important and worth studying. Now this doesn't mean that you write these things in order. This means that you create a strong research focused section that does answer these questions, but it makes sense and can stand on its own. It's not just a list of you answering these questions, but rather a paragraph explaining why this is important and what this research is going to do. Previous research is the next part. In this section, you're going to describe what you found out, just a little bit of research that you've done so far. So mention at least 2 different positions or views and use 2 sources, all right? So these sources, again, should be coming from library research. They can also come from articles that I've got listed below, or not articles rather, but magazines listed below, like The Atlantic. That's a really good one, especially if you're going to be researching COVID-19 and social distancing and thinking about how space has changed and arguments about that. So again, I encourage you to start doing some research because, well, you have to, and it's going to help you with your research paper too. Next is the argument style. So the argument style, you're going to argue to me about what you're going to use and why you're going to use this argument style. Now you may change it, but this is just to get you thinking about being a Rogerian arguer or being more of a traditional or classic arguer. And that has to do with your organization and the ways you make arguments and come to common ground. Finally, the research plan. So for this part, you're going to explain a little bit about your research method. You'll list 3 journals that you'll use. You may not use these journals. You may use these journals. That's up to you. Describe why you'll use them. If there's something important about them, if they've got ethos, they're credible, you trust the writers, that kind of thing. Or if you're wanting to argue against them and what some of the writers say. Then you're going to include a calendar that lists dates and times for you to research, and complete each annotated bibliography entry and write your paper. So include at least 4 hours devoted to writing your paper separated up. So again, this is a calendar you make. It's like a table you could make in Word, or it can be a list. And I just want you, for the rest of the semester, to lay out how you're going to do research. Now, you may not follow it, but it's just going to get you into a routine. And hopefully, if you do follow it sometimes, it's going to make this research paper a lot less stressful. The last part is the works cited. And that should be in MLA. And if you have any questions, you can email me. You can use the Purdue OWL. You can talk to a librarian. There are lots of resources for you to find out how to cite. Last Friday's reading on writing the research position paper, Chapter 11, from Essentials of Argument, is very important for writing your proposal and deciding on how you're going to write your big research paper. So you have 2 options. One would be the Rogerian argument style, and you can follow the organization pattern for that, and that's in Chapter 10 on Rogerian argument. Or you can follow a classical or a modern organization style. And I just want to go over a little bit of that now. So classical organization has 6 parts. You've got your introduction, the statement where you have your thesis, which would be in the introduction. Now, as I discuss this, remember, you have a long paper that you're going to be writing. So don't think in terms of just a 5-paragraph essay for this. So think, your introduction can be multiple paragraphs to get to that statement or proposition. My rule of thumb, though, is that you're not going to want to go over 2 paragraphs to get to that statement and your thesis. Then you can have your narration or background. And again, that can be 2 or 3 paragraphs setting up the context for this issue. Then you get into your proofs and your arguments and supports. Finally, there's the refutation, where you oppose or refute opposing views on your position, showing how your position is the strongest. And last, you conclude. And again, refer to Chapter 11, and I've got the PDF online. It's going to help you figure out how you're going to do this. There are other patterns of organization you can use that certainly fit in this classical organization structure. I just want to go over 3 of them that you're probably familiar with. So you could have paragraphs about cause and effect, identifying some causes and then followed by 1 or more effects. This caused this, sort of a sequence. You have a paragraph about cause and another about effect. Similarly, problems and solutions. You can discuss the problems, offer a solution, discuss another problem, offer another solution. So that's up to you. And finally, compare and contrasting. And again, just the idea is that you have things to compare and contrast. There are 2 tables that I think are really helpful for you trying to figure out, what kind of argument you're going to create and what your organization pattern is going to be. So for instance, with table 11.1, it has different types of claims, and you will probably be using most likely claims of value or claims of policy, and then the type of organization pattern that fits really well with that type of claim. And I'm just thinking again about your big research paper, how a lot of us are going to be using claims of value and claims of policy. The other table that I'd like you to look at, table 11.2, has to do with proofs and support and connecting them to the types of claims. So what's really good about this is it helps show you different styles of proving your claims. Okay, and again, this can connect to your organizational strategy and how you're going to separate your paragraphs. So again, review those. I think they're going to be really helpful for you, not just in the larger paper, but in this more immediate proposal, which is coming up. I've just gone to the resources page of the class website. I want to point out some things that are going to help you in the future. So I'm going to scroll down, and as you can see, I have resources, visual image resources for finding visual imagery you might want to use from the web, and I have research proposal help. So your research proposal, again, is due this Friday. For this help, you get 5 points extra credit. You can go to the McDaniel College Writing Center and make online appointments, and they'll help you with your research proposal. You can also go to the Hoover Library librarians, and you can chat with them or ask to get help. So those are a few things that I recommend going to get help with this research proposal. The final part is just citing sources, and if you click on this link, you'll be taken to a place that will help you figure out MLA citation, because you need to have a works cited with your research proposal. The last thing I want to mention is a doodle poll that I'm sending out, and I'd like you to fill this out as soon as possible by this Friday. We're going to have conferences the following week after you turn in your research proposal. And the conferences, they're going to be 20 minutes long, and we'll talk about your big space paper, hopefully come up with a claim and a thesis, and I'll help you do some research, and we'll talk about the annotated bibliography, which will be due the following week.